Act 1. Battle of Etheria. Beyond the four corners of the history of man lies the primordial soup that spawned all things known and unknown. A destination that has survived the degradation of its own creative capacity. The birthplace of all that is mystical. The ancient tales of the Book of Vigilant call it Elysium, while others whom call darkness their master refer to it as Hades. It is a kingdom that draws power from the very essence of life and death, and deep within the kingdom of Etheria he sits, ruling its forsaken lands, wielding the power of the land, ever watchful of those who may foolishly stray into its wretched soil. Those who know it fear it, and those that find it are doomed to succumb to his will. For in the land of Etheria only death can be found, for the light that once was has been snuffed from its shores. But this was not always so. A time long ago when this dark kingdom was once a majestic land called Etheria. An ancient people studied and practiced the lost arts of magic, a power to control the life force of all things. During the height of its power, Etheria was considered a beacon of light and faith across the cosmos. Those who wished to learn their sacred art flocked to their lands in search of sanctity and enlightenment. The kingdom was peaceful and just, moral and good. Yet where there is light, there is also darkness. There were those who took a darker path. Attracted to the realm of death, these sadists practiced the forbidden arts of malediction, a twisted and corrupt form of magic that held domain over the forces of life and death with only sounds as their conduit. Here in the shadows they lingered, far from the righteous eye of Etheria, and together they plotted. For it was these dark souls led by the powerful and greedy Diomedes that wished to extinguish the light of Etheria and give rise to darker rule. So in secret they forged a powerful weapon, and from the unholy fire summoned by Diomedes, the Dredgemorn, the ruin, was born. The defiled hammer was imbued with the most evil of magics, giving it dominion over the living, enslaving it by death, consuming the souls of those strayed by its wrath. It used their lifeless corpses as mindless vessels, and rose an army of the living dead, obedient only to the one who wielded the hammer. So it was the great war of Etheria that has begun. Great battles scarred the land as the undead hordes grew in strength. The living succumbed to their terror, as one by one they fell to the power of Diomedes and his wretched hammer, only to rise again and join the ranks of his undead legions. All was thought to be lost as Diomedes approached the capital of Luxilia. Yet a miracle was delivered to them in the form of a great weapon. They named it Hikari. Forged by the energies of light, Hikari burned through the undead hordes like wildfire, purging their scourge from the land and defeating Diomedes' legions. But Diomedes would not surrender. Refusing to lay down his weapon in a final battle of darkness and light, Diomedes was killed, being struck down by his own hand, vowing to quench the light of their hope. Peace was restored to Etheria, and the people believed terror had passed. Or so they thought. Ages passed, and though peace was restored, the Dredgemorn endured. Many in Etheria tried to destroy the defiled hammer, but every attempt was met with failure. The power within it was too great for even the Hikari, so they locked it away, and over time it was lost to thought. Darkness fell across the land. Whispers of the nameless fear grew across the kingdom. A shadowy hooded specter without shape or face haunted their dreams. The Dredgemorn lived on. Finally, after waiting patiently and growing in strength, the spirit of Diomedes returned. From out of the Dredgemorn he came with power more terrifying than ever had been seen before. Taking up his weapon once more, he washed over the land of Etheria like a plague, enslaving millions. His fury was unending, and his legions rose with furious force, With the fall of their kingdom assured, the leaders of Etheria managed to save a small group bearing Hikari, and they fled their home. The great capital of Luxilia was last to fall. The waves of undead approached, led by their ghostly leader, Diomedes. There was no battle, just slaughter. And as the victor, Diomedes approached the king's throne. The king stood and drew his sword. Diomedes, ruin of the living, shepherd of death, begone. As king of this kingdom, as long as I draw breath, I will defend this throne with my life. A deep and sinister laugh echoed from the hollow darkness of his hood. Foolish man, you are no more a king as I, Diomedes. Diomedes died when you burned his pitiful rotting corpse. I am Severog, Lord of Death. Fear not, my king. You may still serve purpose yet, as another addition to my undead legions. And with a final blow from the Dredgemorn, the kingdom of Etheria fell, and from its ashes, Etheria was born. Now, ages later, the Lord of Death has been drawn to the light of Agora, seeking out powerful additions to his legions, while extinguishing the light of the innocent. With his Dredgemorn in hand, the real question is, who will succumb to his power next? Though I have conquered death, you shall be a slave to it, and me. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed the content. This is my very first lore video, so I apologize if the animations don't exactly match the typical epic artwork that we're used to. If you have any positive suggestions in order to make this kind of content better, please leave them in the comment section. If you want more fan-based lore, show me by hitting the thumbs up or by putting a name of the next hero you'd like to see in the comment section. Also, special shout out to Killroy for providing excellent research material. I am sorry if I detoured away from the original a bit, but your work definitely made it very easy to translate to YouTube and was extremely fun to portray. Now, don't forget to show your support by hitting the subscribe button or the logo on your screen. Thanks always. That's all I got for you guys today. Peace.